All right, NFT craze continues, and is this the place where we start to see a couple of leaders start to kind of break out of the pack? We're going to dive into that today. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back to TechPath.
And I'm Lisa Rancor. Dynamic duo.
What do you think about all this craziness
Paul,
in the space?
You already know that Fantom. I am an FTM holder, and I am happy to say, given this bull run that we've seen on the FTM front, I had to take some profits.
So you took a little bit off the table.
A little bit off the table.
Mm-hmm. All right, there was a big money move there made just yesterday on Fantom. So
we're going to unpack that. Mm-hmm.
All right, so right here, Fantom Foundation unveils $370 million in their incentive program. This is like, I don't know, between Avalanche and then you've got so many different projects now are doing these incentive programs, and it's just like they keep stacking on stacking here. What do you think about this one?
I mean, I think it's a great way to drive total locked value on the platform. I think it's a great way to engage the community. I think that the more developers that you have building on the platform, the more valuable the platform becomes, especially when there's an incentive with the total locked value, rewards-based programs, et cetera. So I'm happy.
Yeah, you like it.
I love it.
Fantom noted that other foundations behind their unique chains has begun to provide rewards for users on protocols who deploy on top of their respective chains. So they wanted to reward users, but wanted to also do it in its own way. So that's kind of cool. I think that the fact that they're rewarding, you know, I like these kinds of programs because it does start to seed that community-based element behind a lot of these projects. And
that's a part of the crypto ethos.
I think that's huge, yeah.
And another thing I'll add is that what I think is very interesting about the FTM technology is that it's a DAG, right? And if I'm not mistaken, that's a direct acyclic graph.
Yep.
And it's all about scalability. It's all about efficiency. And I think that's one of the advantages when you think about building on a protocol like that versus an Ethereum.
Yeah.
So
more use, faster it gets, that kind of scenario.
Scalability.
Yeah. So starting on August 30th, protocol teams will have the ability to apply for these rewards from Fantom. Rewards are based on the team's total value locked and scale from 1 million Fantom to 5 million in its first iteration. That's pretty cool. I like this in the sense that, you know,
as a holder,
where the movement is going and kind of where the space in general is going. Here's the question is, do you think we'll continue? I mean, you just took a little off the table.
I did.
Took a little, a little cake frosting.
Yep.
Which is great. I mean, if you look at the chart, it's definitely up near where its all-time high have been previously. So that's a good position, I think. And does it continues to spin out of this? Has it continued to move or grow the platform like a Solana, which has really had a big shift in what Solana is doing, partnerships, the execution of the protocol itself. There's a lot of reasons why Solana is flying like it is, but if you look at this price prediction right here, this was a 4-hour chart showing the Fantom price has been a strong bullish trend in the past few months, notably the coin, that's when you bought, right?
That's right.
So you kind of were going up and following those. They had a key resistance at 59. It busted through that. That was on August 22nd. And now they're kind of looking at, but they are concerned that the overall trend is bullish, but they suspect the coin will pull back. Now this was posted on, let's find out when this one got posted. This was posted over here, it looks like a day ago. So
people are going to take profits.
They were right ahead.
Yeah, like
they were right ahead.
Not surprised at all. But another thing I'll add, I think is very interesting about this particular project is that the use case associated with like smart cities. So we were talking about before we started rolling in Dubai, for example.
Yep.
How Fantom is being utilized to manage the traffic systems, the traffic lights. And so, in Australia, they're exploring how that can be integrated into this concept of a smart city. So above and beyond partnerships with like the sports leagues, the NFLs, and, Major League Baseball and what have you, the country aspect, again, when we talk about the market opportunity, I feel like there's a lot of white space with FTM, and although I took profits, I intend to continue to buy back in.
Yeah, take a look at where spaces could go. I mean, obviously you see this chart right here, kind of the big point of where it hit, and then of course the big top end, which is the 75-cent rate, point, which a lot of people are saying that would kind of invalidate the bearish view is what they're looking at. So people are still thinking this might have a little bit of room to run.
If it moves above 75 cents, the bearish sentiment is destroyed.
Yeah, it's just going to go there. We'll see. All right. Rallies continues. I love this.
Alt season has arrived.
Yeah. Obviously, this one has, and they've kind of compared it up to what's happening with Solana on, just in general, I think some of these projects have started to move somewhat separately from where Bitcoin is. And this is one of those things where when altcoin season occurs, you do get that uncoupling, and it definitely is one that is unique. And for them, good kudos for them. We're going to look at some charts and also kind of some rundown on where this might be on the sentiment side. And is this one where you get FOMO in, or do you hopefully you guys have been holding this like Lisa's over here,
Keep
rolling.
Watching to keep learning, to keep earning.
So I want to know, what color is that Lambo going to be?
I mean, listen.
Maybe this lime.
You know what though, I'll say, because.
This would be a good wrap.
But let me tell you, because I've been a member of the Paul Barron team, I'm reinvesting my earnings.
Oh boy, here we go.
So let's not get it twisted, folks. I like my money to make me money.
All right. This was from Fantom Foundation just the other day. Thanks to this low transactions, Fantom is ideal for network for NFTs. From collections, we're seeing a surge in NFTs on Fantom. So that in itself, again, fostering that creator economy.
That's right.
Is a big deal. And I think some of these projects are timed perfectly in the sense where they seem to be cracking at the time in which NFTs are starting to break out mainstream. Because remember, NFTs up to 6 months ago, really only a handful of insiders really understood what was really up.
And you know what's so interesting about that is if you look at the sales for NFTs in July, you're talking about nearly $400 million.
Right.
And so when you see that level of momentum, considering where we were in like Q4 of last year to now.
Oh, this is crypto 2017. Yeah, NFTs, crypto 2017. All right, let's take a look at Trade the Chain, just kind of get an idea of where Fantom is running. The 7-day is going to be a little bit better picture here. You can kind of see the, kind of flat somewhat sentiment as it was stretching out here into August 28th. And even all the way back here into August 24th, still not that major movement until we came over here to the 29th. That's when the run-up took place. And right there, the sentiment has basically bubbled. Again, this is a trailing indicator on where sentiment is running. It's going to be interesting to watch. One thing that I noticed, and we haven't run our full analysis on Fantom yet. We've got one of our analysts on it right now in terms of, and I got a couple of notes right before the show. Amplification on this is running about neck and neck with their sentiment score, which is pretty typical of this kind of movement. You know, when your sentiment, let's just call it a 60, when your sentiment is a 60 and your amp is a 60, that's always a sign that it's a, you have an option of it can go either way.
Right.
Amplification.
You don't think there's going to be some sideway action?
Well, that's the key, is if you don't get enough amplification, you don't blow past. Like a Solana, good example. Solana, our numbers on Solana, we're showing amplification outpacing sentiment, which is what's happening right now. And that's where we've seen it with Solana really kind of going up the charts. But I think the key here is going to be, and I want to look at Fantom's price. So this is their 1 year, and you can kind of see the movement right there back in May of, this was, May of 2021. You can kind of see, obviously, the project before. But May 2021, that thing hits 91 cents, and right here is where we are. So could it have a little bit of life to make it up to that dollar, or does it get an alt season boost because of this new news and this thing doubles up? We need the data. We gotta get the data.
Exactly right. And I'm happy because I got to take profits.
Yeah,
so.
A lot of volume there though, going in there for sure. All right, so I love the fact that, when we see projects like this, and again, Fantom has been one we've talked about on the show before, but it's you, the audience, that send us these tips, send us these directives, and also kind of give us, and some of this stuff, I just don't know where you guys find this. I mean, how you have the time.
11,000 plus cryptos, yes.
Yeah, it's amazing how our community has really kind of jumped in. I'm getting so many DMs and just leads on Twitter alone, much less LinkedIn. Thank you so much, guys, for all you're doing out there, for sure, because that's giving us some light into some of these projects that a lot of people might be missing because they're blinded by, you know, the face melting speed of Solana right now.
My goodness. And yeah, I mean, listen, I think that the community does a phenomenal job of doing the analysis that we need to start covering coins like this that are on the come up. And honestly, if you're looking for triple digit, quadruple digit returns, it's the altcoins you're going to see it in. So
these are definitely
keep telling us what we need to be covering.
Going to be the ones. Yeah, I like it. You guys are listening in over on the podcast right now on Spotify. Thank you for the big follow over there. Another big month in July for us, one of our biggest months ever on all of our podcast subs. Great. Thanks so much for stopping in there.
And of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you click that bell so that you're constantly kept up to speed on the new videos we're releasing, new coins we're sharing, and directions that they might be moving in. Ultimately, we want to hear from you. So make sure that you comment below on what you want us to cover, what your thoughts are on our reporting. How are we doing out there? Yeah. I know no one tends to bite their tongue, but I figured I'd invite you to share even more.
Yeah, we're closing in on 100K, people. This is going to be a big one.
100K subs.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And, you know, we might have some surprises for you coming up here in the next week to 10 days, because that, I think, is going to be our window when we hit that. And, of course, if you guys have an idea for a show, you can always hit us up on email, just producer@revernetworks.com, or me on Twitter @PaulBaron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.